Rough day?
Sometimes you just got to take a couple of deep breaths, you know what I'm saying? And then you feel like you're grounded and you're with the universe. And do you have that's not a stress ball. That's a signed
Yeah,
baseball,
this is
right?
my no, it's not a signed baseball. That's my stress ball.
But it
When
doesn't squeeze,
I
man.
don't have to. I just throw it at things in the house. Like if something stresses
Uh
me out,
yeah, you
I
got
turn
to.
around and I chuck it at somebody.
Hey, I got some advice from somebody about our show. You want to hear it?
Yeah, I'd
I
love to.
know. I know how you love advice. um so I'll this gentleman I'll leave him unnamed, but he said, "Hey, you really need to engage everybody that comments on your thread during the podcast." And I said, "Well, I don't normally see the thread, but then I realized I didn't have the right window open on my screen." And are you sleeping already?
No, I'm looking for another feedback comment that we got. I'd like to read this one on the air as well.
Hi, Dora Jean. And Patrick, thanks for being here with us, or two early birds that jumped on. But we try to do that, and I don't know if this gentleman actually missed that you actually put the banners of the comments across the screen, which is very cool. But I just love that. What was the feedback you got? I think this is a good one. I remember you telling me about this. What was the feedback?
Yeah, you did. So last week after our podcast wrapped, that's the industry term for it ending.
Okay, we wrapped. Yeah.
We wrapped. Yeah, I got a text message or a Facebook message, direct message from somebody that I've known for quite some time. Great guy, really good guy. First of all, he said, "I enjoyed your live stream tonight. Your banter between the beginning at the banter at the beginning was great. Shapiro leaves a little bit to be hoped for.
You
So
added that in. Come on.
no, it's right here in white and black. Side note, thanks for supporting JDRF. And he's had type 1 diabetes for 43 years. I found it amazing last week that you gave me a whole bunch of shit for not being a charitable person.
I
And
spoke
and,
about
and then
JDR.
no, hold on, let's talk about this because then you cut me off
Yes, I did.
before I even had a chance to answer, even cementing in the fact that my non-charitable lifestyle lives in perpetuity of episode 25, right into the ether. It went into the ether. um, I was really appreciative of that, and it again reiterates how special you are in my life for treating things that way. Anyway, this guy then followed up with that wonderful statement saying, "Unsolicited observation. So tell me to piss off if you want to. LOL. Ending guests unannounced from a psychological standpoint emits a bad vibe. Better to do, okay, we're coming to the end. You have exactly 15 seconds to say anything, then drop them."
What-
So, from a psychological standpoint, that's respectful. Trust me, I love psychology, he said. I just have to say, fuck off. Don't tell me how to end our show, right? Like, come on, that's
Well,
our thing, man. Like, we hang up on everybody. That's
I think
it's
he missed the point. I mean, he missed the point. But can I speak to that a little bit because first of all, I talked about after I cut you off. I know you're charitable. I brought up the JDRF
no,
thing.
no,
I actually,
no, let's not talk about it now.
I
It's
oh stop! You
no,
can't,
no, no, no,
you
no. Hold
can't.
on. Listen, now it's
What is,
inappropriate because now we feel bad. Now
shut
we
the
want to
fuck
talk
up!
about
You shut the fuck up, Murray Sawchuk here. Listen, I'm gonna go have a party. I'm gonna watch the implosion of the Tropicana. I want you all to be there for select friends. Murray Sawchuk, I'll be doing some tricks, some stuff out of my ass, and I just love a good party. And we're gonna get a room at the MGM, and we're gonna watch the implosion of the Tropicana on October 8th or whatever it is. Okay, Kevin, you're wrong. Michael's right. Okay, bye. So
it. This
listen,
podcast is brought to us by Snapple Tea, peach iced tea. When you want the best tea on the earth, you'll grab a Snapple. That's their new motto.
and if you want to give back to society, generosity is found all over the country and here in Las Vegas. And 10 cents of every bottle goes to charities like the Humane Society, or this one is for breast cancer. There's a lot of great. This is a raspberry. They're also going to probably contribute one of these to the JDRF because there's a lot of sugar in these teas. Just threw myself under the bus there.
Another added benefit of having a generosity is if you leave the tea to evaporate, you can light the sugar and smudge your house at the same time. It's going to be great.
Do you have one of these?
No.
Because you don't give to them. That's why. So I rest my case, Your Honor. Listen, dude, I know in fact, you're on a board of a 501(c). You didn't answer the question when I asked you. You hemmed and hawed. You intentionally dragged out the answer, and I felt compelled to hang up on you because I love you. And 9 times out of 10, this is episode 26. You
Wait,
have
hold on.
I'm not finished with the
You
sentence.
I know, you can
You
keep
go, I
talking.
go.
Listen,
You go, I go.
I just gotta stop that one thing you just said. You just said, "I felt compelled to call you out because I love you." Go ahead.
I what? Okay,
That's what you just said. Go ahead.
so how many episodes out of 26 have you asked me a question and I'm talking and you're laughing and I didn't even know how to end the stream. And then out of some of those episodes I attempted to, but I don't know how to do it, so I screwed it up and I'm trying and then you would hang up on me. I have effectively hung up on you on these episodes probably 3 times out
I've
of
never done that to you.
26. You're not going to be honest. Little Lavender's about honesty and
Out
vulnerability.
of respect for you, I've never hung up on you.
You hung up on me today on a phone call.
What are you
Today.
talking about?
Oh, your denial. Denial is
I'm
like
in
real.
denial.
Oh,
What are
bro.
you talking about?
So then you're just a fucking liar. Is that what it is?
Wow. We're gonna start pointing fingers now.
I'm
Okay.
asking. It was a
Okay.
question.
No. Okay.
No, 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 no.
I'll wear
Listen.
the shirt. I'll wear the shirt.
So Kevin and I started this podcast. It's like the relationship. It's only good until it's not good anymore. And Kevin and I started this because there's a lot of masculine toxicity. Is that what you call that, Kevin?
It is. Yeah.
Toxic masculinity, and how men put up a front, and I think people do it in general, but really, yes, it is Michael time again. Thank you. It's about that real connection is integrity and compassion and empathy and being a little soft and having vulnerabilities and being a man about it. Kevin, you and I, we rouse ourselves all the time, but you and I have a very close friendship, and I don't want anybody to think it's otherwise. This is a fun place to do that. But what started this thing was this idea to paint and this idea to show. You got Melvin singing? He's a good singer, isn't he? To show that you can be a strong person and be vulnerable and honest and get that's what the lavender is to get a little bit of softness. Lavender is a very peaceful color. So with that, I just want to say go fuck yourself, Kevin.
Let's just jump into it right away. Reckless in Vegas played their last show at Notoriety this last Saturday night, correct?
Not true.
It's not your last show?
No, we have one more. We have one more.
So, ladies and gentlemen, get your tickets for these. Is it September show?
September 21st.
Last Reckless in Vegas show in history. Michael has said he's retiring the band after this next show.
That's not true.
Is this last one? Let's talk about this one first. It was an unplugged one, right? And you had some incredible guests. You had our friend Stephanie Calvert, and you had who's the guy from the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous?
Robin Leach.
He was there, right?
He's passed, bro. He passed on. It was in the Robin Leach room that you used to play in. You used to play in. The Dockslayers used to perform in this room for a year, right? Or how long did you guys play?
We've paved the way for a lot of people, but we don't have to go there. So, literally, how was the show? Was it great?
It was good. It was a little lighter than I like, I'm
not talking about that. I mean, I'm talking about the energy.
Oh, it's class.
Listen, I know we bust each other's chops a lot, and I know we kind of pretend to get aggravated with each other. But if you guys watched, I'm talking to the camera now. If you guys watched our conversations in the mornings when we chat, there's a lot of love in the relationship between the Shapster and the Sookster, and we support each other in a lot of ways. We support each other in our relationships. We support each other in our marriages. There's a lot of really cool similarities that he and I have, and it's been wonderful to get to know you over the last couple of years. And I feel very, safe in my masculinity in saying, I want to sleep with you, and that even if my wife is watching, I'm just kidding. I feel very.
I would only be interested if she was
one of my closest friends, and I love how you can meet people at different chapters of life that bring and fill the cup, right? Like you fill my cup full of, some people fill your cup with hot cocoa. Some people fill your cup with bourbon. You fill my cup with piss, and I love it because there's, I need that. I need the piss and vinegar that this relationship is built upon. No, I love your style of entertainment. Like I love watching you in your environment. I was a fan of yours the minute I watched your first show that I saw at the Sahara when you were there. I love the comfort that you have in your own skin. I know you would talk about, some of the nerves that go along with the performance and the performance anxiety. Let's not call it nerves. It's the anxiety that you get about,
Yeah,
performers get that sort of stuff. I don't, but you
we're
do.
different.
Like, and I really am upset, and I'm going to say this. I know I've joked about this, but I'm upset that this entire run that you have had at
Yeah,
Notoriety, I have had work on the same freaking nights. I made it
this
to
is a
one of
good
the
thing.
shows, and it bums me out because I would have been at every single night. I would have been throwing soup cans at you. I'm not going to throw apples or produce, but
Tomatoes.
I'd have been hucking some chunky soup cans at you and screaming out, play some different songs because I mean, let's be honest, you play the same shit night after night. So
That's
it'd be nice to hear a new song out of your band every once in a while.
well,
I,
we actually we
and
did
I
some.
in your defense, I play the same shit night after night too.
We
So
well,
just
that's
be
kind of what we do, and our set list is we have more songs in the repertoire than we can fit in one show. So we alternate some of those songs, and we also do the acoustic unplugged version, which we have one more on September 21st. I'm going to play a little electric guitar on that show. Special guest is Kelly Clinton Holmes, and
It's a
guess what?
little electric guitar, or is it
It's a very
small?
small electric guitar.
Yeah,
It's like
okay,
this. It's about this size right here.
nice, cool.
But we have Everly Rybar joining us to sing "Can't Help Falling in Love." She's 9 years old, and
Amazing.
it's gonna be so cool. But then we have one more show for the year, Kevin, and that's the one that you're also not going to be able to make because I was hoping you could make it and be one of the guests. But it's the October 19th one at Aliante. That's a big showroom. That's going to be our final show. It's our 10-year anniversary of headlining Las Vegas. It's a very exciting time. And dude, I'm happy that you're unable to be there because you're working, man. You have a demand. Your show has a demand. You're out making the dough and melting faces and traveling all over the country. And you got a great gig here at the Venetian on the Strip. It's a great reason to miss the show. If you were sitting at home watching Netflix, I'd be heartbroken. But thank you for all that. Yeah,
No,
and we
it's
do have
true.
that in
It
common.
really is the truth. Um, because you didn't ask, we were in
I
Mohegan
didn't
Sun in
I didn't get
Connecticut.
to it yet. Let me ask the question.
We were in Mohegan Sun in Connecticut on Saturday night, and we played in Vegas on Friday night. So this was my weekend. We finished the show at 10 p.m. We packed up some cases and
To the
got on
airport.
an 11:59 red eye to Chicago that got us in at about 5:30.
Brutal, brutal.
Grabbed a plane 90 minutes later to Connecticut. Landed at about 10:30. Traveled an hour to the gig. Set up, sound check. Softly melted some faces in Connecticut. Had a day off. Went to Boston.
How big
And
was that room at Mohegan Sun? How big is that?
yeah, it's I'm very
Ballpark it.
grateful. I'm very grateful
Well,
that
I'm just curious, so because you went from playing up, your room is a beautiful room. It's a
intimate,
small,
right?
intimate
It's a
room.
very intimate show here in Vegas.
150 people.
We
You
love
got on a plane, and
Yeah,
then
we
you
got on
how
a plane,
many?
we went and played, I don't know, like,
5,000.
100,000.
Well, we're not talking about the baseball field that you played. That was amazing. No, we're talking about Mohegan Sun. How big is
Yeah,
that
so
venue?
I wanna
Honestly,
say there were about, 10,000 people there. It was great.
10,000. So
Yeah, it was
150 to
awesome.
10,000, and then you went and played a private gig at a winery in.
No, we went and had a day off, and we went to Fenway Park and saw the Boston Red Sox
Uh,
play, which is our guilty pleasure. Whenever we have a day off in a city that's got a team, we like to go to a game. And then we played the world famous City Winery in Boston.
in
It was a really
Boston,
great gig.
right?
It was our fourth time there.
Fantastic.
And man, the passion for my band in Boston, if we weren't from Milwaukee, if you were in the audience, you'd swear we were from Boston.
That's pretty great, and I want to transition that because we've got a great guest today. I'd like you to do the intro, but I want to say he is kind of known. He's a baseball guy. He's a sports guy. He's a gambling. His family, his brothers, they're gambling, handicapping. Like these are. If I didn't know any better, I think they're a little bit. But I don't know anything about anything. I didn't see nothing. But why don't you let's bring him in because we've got a little long on our portion here. We'll circle back and finish our conversation after the guest. You want to go ahead and bring him in, please? He's my
I would
good
love to.
friend.
I'd like the honor of introducing this gentleman, Michael Lewis B- Bunin.
Bunin.
Is that
Yeah,
Bunin? Did I get it right? Born January 14th, 1970. Capricorn, I might add.
he's
He's an
older than us.
American. Are you gonna let me fucking do this, or what? Are you
Nah.
gonna just talk over me? Should I go again, or should I start over? Did He's an American actor known for playing the role of Kenny. Fuck you guys, he killed Kenny. Did you
Not
know
that
that?
Kenny.
He was on fucking South Park.
Not that Kenny.
He's the guy in the hood that they kill all the time. Anyway, he played Kenny amazing on the TBS sitcom My Boys. He's a prolific commercial actor, having starred in at least 50 national commercials. He has also guest starred on several hit TV shows, including Scrubs, CSI, Without a Trace, Charmed, Rules of Engagement, Las Vegas, and he's mostly known for his recurring role as Jeff on Superstore. You know, we get him on the way down. We don't ever get him on the way up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's check out some of our friend Michael's clips.
It's a big day today. We start our rebranding.
Does rebranding mean they're redesigning the store?
No, we'll be taking our in-store product, Halo, and changing it to SuperCloud.
And how are they different?
That, what I just said. It used to be called Halo. Now it's called SuperCloud.
Oh.
Maybe I'm not selling the excitement of what's happening today, but let's see if this helps.
Y'all ready for this?
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Bunin.
What's up,
It's so
Bobby?
good.
Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for having me. Sincerely.
I thought you were.
Supercloud.
I think you were a drama guy. That seemed like comedy to me. I don't know. Maybe I don't know you at all. Was that a great run on that?
Superstore was a comedy. Yeah, it was a really fun gig. It really was. It was for years now, actors we go on auditions and we hear things like, this could be a recurring. And like when I grew up watching TV, a recurring meant I was really going to see that actor potentially a lot, not just maybe one time, sometime in the next 5 years of the show. So Superstore was lucky because it really turned into, I think, like 30 episodes for me. It was kind of an old school recurring television role, which is fun to get. It's now that I'm an old man in the business.
Out of everything you've done, I know you've done it. Did you do I think you did a CSI, right? And you did
I did a couple of them actually. Yeah,
Law and Order as well.
I did a Law and Order. I did
some CSI I saw in there.
The Target
commercial.
Is your fucking award, bro.
You mean Kmart commercial?
Oh, Kmart. Sorry, Kmart.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm available to do a commercial for Kmart. I mean, for Target if they want.
It was
Kmart commercial.
It was so good. I missed who it was for. Right. Good job. Kevin, did you see that? Have you seen that commercial?
It's funny because you explained it to me when we were talking about Michael and him coming on the show, and it is one of my all-time favorite commercials. And my wife and I will randomly quote it in the house at weird times. We will.
That is awesome.
It's kudos and congratulations to you, sir.
Can I tell you something about that? Actually, no actor in the hallway thought this commercial would make the air, and so I got lucky. I booked it, and they do it as a story. I want to see on Good Morning America about how they can't run this commercial. So it gets roughly like 21 million hits on a YouTube site right away, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is great. So it's going. So then they call me when it's at 30 million hits, and they're like, hey, would you do an interview on Entertainment Weekly or whatever on CNN? I was like, sure, whatever. So I go on, I do the interview, then I leave the interview, and I go to the audition for what is going to be the next version of this commercial. Big gas savings, right? Big gas savings, right? That was what it was going to be. Right. And I'm sitting in the hallway and everybody's just staring at me, all of my friends that are actors. And they're like, why are you auditioning? And I was like, because they asked me to, I guess. And they were like, I don't understand. It's got 30 million hits. So when I went in there, the director introduced me like this. He goes, guys, you remember Michael Bunin from the first commercial and also from the CNN segment where he just went on and talked about your company for about 20 minutes. You remember him, right?
Is that not good? Was the interview? Were you not supposed to?
No, he was saying to them, why is he auditioning again?
Oh, gotcha.
I was just like,
had I been an actor sitting in a waiting room and I watched you walk in for that,
you would have left.
I'd be like, oh, fuck, here we go. I'm getting up and leaving. And I'm not even going to sit through this stuff.
Well, I've been there. And I've been the guy that's left because of that.
That could have easily turned into like the reoccurring thing where you become the guy that's in all of their stuff. And I don't know what happened with that campaign and where it went.
In the flow for Kmart.
We did. So
Right.
we did three of them. And honestly, I think what happened to Kmart was going to happen to Kmart no matter how good or bad the
You
advertising
didn't
was.
save them. You were their last hope to save the brand. And
No,
They
that was it.
they turned they turned into the brand that started selling meth on the streets, and they were
actually,
nowhere.
he,
That's what
he
Yeah,
does know
well, that's
something
true
about
too.
something about rebranding, as we saw from Superstore. So
I
maybe you
do.
needed the music behind you to save that company. I don't know, man. But dude, so Kevin, I want to talk. I want to kind of reminisce with Michael about something. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing somewhere around 1982 or something around that time, junior high school. This family moves in across the street from me. We lived on a street called Royce Court. I lived in a
Yeah.
tiny little town home. Mike moved into a house across the street that was a bigger town home. He had 2 stories. We had one, but we sort of, and I don't remember all of it. I don't think I was very aware back then of, but Michael and I became friends, and Michael played saxophone and I played trumpet in band. And Michael and I decided that he's going to teach me how to play saxophone and I'm going to teach him how to play trumpet. I don't remember how many times we got together and did that, but the saxophone is way harder than the trumpet. And I remember that being true. But that's how we began our friendship. Was we
Yeah.
were going to teach each other how to do each other's instruments, and
What's
I
find
just
great is that you guys have indirectly been making out for years,
Yeah.
swapping
Yeah.
on each other's instruments. This is great.
Yeah.
I
We've
keep
been
trying.
swapping each other's instruments.
But we've maintained a friendship through all those years, and you know how much I value
Yes.
that, and it's really great. I'm glad you
Well,
agreed.
Mike and his family were really welcoming. Like I was the new kid in town in particular. It was a rough time for my family because Mike will remember, yeah, we had the 2-story, but we had no furniture. Like in other words, like it was,
I don't
but Mike, you could, oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so we had no furniture. So I would love, Mike would be like, you want to come over? I'm like, yes, this dude lives in an arcade.
Yeah.
He's got
We had
arcade games everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. We did have arcade games. Yeah. Only because that's the business my dad was in, right? Yeah.
I still have, honestly, you're gonna laugh. I still have the hat that your dad gave me from the Westward Ho in
You're
1982
kidding.
or 83. No, I'm not
Oh,
kidding.
stop. How do you possibly have that?
I got
Westward,
it's in my brother's house in Vegas. I still have it.
Westward Ho is a place. I don't think it's there anymore, right? It's by Circus Circus. It was an old kind of
I don't think it's there anymore. It can't be
Yeah.
there anymore.
Well, we used to go there. You could drink with if you were underage. They had like 32-cent beers or some shit. And we all kind of went there, and there were definitely
99-cent shrimp cocktails.
Fresh.
Fresh.
Oh,
Yeah.
They didn't
Yeah.
keep it on ice.
Yeah.
They just needed to get rid of it as quickly as they could.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was spelled SCHRIMP.
That's
So,
correct. That's correct. Well, Kevin is a huge baseball fan, man, and Kevin
Oh,
everywhere
right on.
he tours a lot, and every opportunity he gets to go to the games. A lot of times it's an owner's box, and
I heard you say that when you're on the road. I love that that's your thing, that you guys want to go see a stadium, see a game.
This year has been a magical year. I was introduced. My dear friend introduced me to Brian Cashman of the New York Yankees. I've been a Yankee fan my entire life. My grandparents lived in New York for a big part of my life, and I went and Cashman invited us to his box. So we sat with Cashman in his suite and watched a Yankee game. We played at Great American Ballpark on the field after a game.
Oh, wow.
In Cincinnati, and that was a dream come true.
Great video footage
And
of that.
we've done LA, Kansas City, Detroit this year, all ballparks. So yeah, it's our thing. You get an off day, you're lucky enough to do that, and it's a lot of fun.
If you want to watch a really boring show, after the show that's behind me on the wall there, My Boys.
Yeah, My
There it
Boys.
is. After that show, one of the actors on there, close friend of mine, Jamie Kaler, he calls me. He's like, "Hey man, I sold a show to DirecTV for us." And I was like, "Okay, what are we doing?" He's like, "We're gonna go to baseball parks and they're gonna film us." I'm like, "So I'm in." So
Love it.
it was a fun little show. Now they made us try to do it in 3D, which made it very hard to do.
Wow.
However, I was lucky enough to go. I mean, I've been to Wrigley many times, but I always loved Wrigley. So we went to Wrigley. I was in Fenway. Went to Detroit, San Francisco, and what else? I think that's it. Oh no, I'm sorry, in Philadelphia. And it was fantastic to have like that weird access, and and hey, Jack Roth, as far as that weird, to have that weird access and sort of nerd out. And I was so angry that we couldn't get to New York. That's where I went. That's really where we were trying to get it, but but New York didn't give it to us. Fenway was a great park, but we're like right when you pull up, what are you here for? And I was like, oh, we got a TV show. Nobody told me. I'm like, oh, I didn't get down to parking yet. Well, I don't know what to tell you. We got a TV show we're shooting. We're not lying. That's why there's 2 trucks of production.
Did you get in and do it?
We did.
Yeah.
We did. And even the guy that we had been talking to for months with email was like, and you want, I said, what are you going to do? What? It's like, no, we gave you the script. We gave you, so they did. They finally let us. We went on the field. We were inside the monster. It was great. Like Fenway was so old school that it was really great. Yeah.
Do you go to Dodger games? Is that something you guys do?
I do. I haven't in a minute, but I do. Yes. I have such mixed feelings about Chavez Ravine. I love its history. I actually like the park. There's not a bad seat in the house, but I wish it was somewhere else in a way. I do. It's just so hard to get in and out of, and this and that, and probably missing a chance to add some commerce, And then again, if they move it, by the way, I'm gonna be the jerk now because there's a lot of old school Dodger bars that I love to go to pre and post game, so I don't want those to go out of business either. So that's what I mean. Like I'm still conflicted about that park, but I've been lucky enough to do a I'm like this when I say celebrity softball game on there. Like when they called me and I said yes, I called my publicist back and I was like, please get the list of the amount of people that said no before they got to me.
That stadium is the only stadium that I had the privilege of singing the national anthem at. And,
wow.
And at the time, I don't know, it's been there if you haven't been in a while, but do they still have an organ player? She's got to be passed away by now.
Yes.
Still the original? Is she gone?
I don't know if it's still the original. I know there's still an organ player.
Well, that's definitely a training wheel for a singer that goes out on that field because it keeps you in key. And then the lyrics go across a digital board, which is also extraordinarily helpful for a guy who's smoking crack cocaine in the parking lot before he goes to sing the song.
Listen. We saw the Red Sox play the Diamondbacks on Sunday, and it was the first time in person I've seen somebody butcher the freaking anthem.
Oh,
and this man got up there and went right to the Rockets red glare after the first, oh, say, can you see dawn's early light was probably real at the twilight's last gleaming and the rocket. We went, oh shit. 2/3 of the fucking song. And listen, I kept thinking these Bostoners are going to be like, what the fuck? Wicked piss on this guy. And they clapped. They treated him with respect.
It's the anthem, man.
Man, my heart sank. Sorry.
Well, wait a minute. Look, didn't you on one of our episodes, didn't you show it was a female that was singing and she was drunk. She said she was. Didn't you show that on our podcast?
I did.
And she butchered her. You're saying this guy was worse than her?
This dude cut out an entire the song. Like he amended the song.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a little bit different.
The bridged version of the anthem.
I can honestly say at Cashman Field, watching.
You're in Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas, yeah. Cashman watching some spring training baseball, and Pat Morita came out to do the national anthem, and he did it as Mr. Miyagi, and he ended it with a crane. I'm not kidding. And he was clearly enjoying himself that day.
Did everybody else enjoy it?
Well, my brothers and we did, yes. I don't know if everybody else
you guys were drunk.
Pat Morita was drunk and doing Mr. Miyagi, but we enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, it's the national anthem, like you said.
Do you get together with so My Voice was probably your longest running kind of TV show that you were been involved in. Do you get together with that cast any? Do you guys stay close?
We do. I have a constant thread going with them. We were chatting last night. Yeah. We all are very close. Some of us are around the country now, but my buddy Jamie Kaler and I live around the corner from each other. I see him the most. We still golf a lot. Me, him, and the other guy, Kyle, used to try and get out and just golf a lot and hang out.
You become like family after doing something that's that long. How many years?
You can. That was 4 seasons, but you're spending 60 hours a week, with people. And I've been on other shows where it's like, can we shoot my scene now, please? I want to go home.
Get away from everybody. Well, was there anybody
not
in that
Superstore? I don't. That was not in it. Really quickly, that was not in Superstore, and My Boys are the two. Sincerely, that don't fit that I'm talking about some other shows early on. Continue, please.
Okay, so when discussing, so you've done a lot, and so out of all the television stuff you've done or movie stuff you've done, and we'll get to what you just finished working on too. But out of
Sure.
all the stuff you've done, is it right away? Have you just been on a set where you just didn't hit it off, didn't like somebody, where you had friction and couldn't? It was just hard to work with. Have you had a lot of those experiences?
Yeah, I think most actors, if we're lucky enough to work even a small amount, we'll have a decent amount of those experiences. Yeah, it's I've had it from big productions to just where it's me and another guy that's as unrecognizable as me 20 years ago in particular doing a commercial. And I've said to him, I'm like, hey, I said to a guy sometime, I was like, you're being a real asshole. And he just kind of looked at me. I was just like, enjoy the day, man. It's really hard to get these things. Let's enjoy the day. Like, what is it you think? What do you think is going to happen from this Jack in the Box commercial? Like,
Well,
seriously, you think Coppola's going to get high and go through the drive-through at night and think about you from that commercial and you're in
Maybe.
Apocalypse 2 now? No, it's not going to happen.
Well, in this business, and Kevin will attest to this, and it's just there's a lot of ego in what we do, and I always like to think you're a very disarming, friendly, kind. Like, I don't think you would evoke that in anybody you're working with. I could tend to maybe evoke that accidentally, of course, in people. Kevin is a very kind, generous, but also has a pretty strong backbone. I can't see Kevin. I can't see you bringing that out of anybody either. But I just wonder, sometimes you just work with people that just aren't having
You work
it.
with people that, a lot of times and I think you guys know exactly what I'm talking about because you're on stage as well. You work with some people that either, like a stand-up comedian. Sometimes you can work with the greatest of stand-up comedians, but they've never worked anything other than solo. So, there's not a lot of give and take. You just try to just kind of get out of the way and let that person do their thing, to be honest with you, if you want the show to flow. So, it depends. Then you work with some people that believe everything their agents are telling them. Oh, you should be getting this and blah, blah, this. And then they try to carry that on set. Then you work with some people that really, look, I know there's a call sheet and I know there is an order for a reason. But as a general rule, if you're working as a cast, nobody's going to get mad about who's in the chair first, who eats first. Nobody's going to, but I've been on sets where you'll hear people say, well, I'm number 2, I'm number 1 on the sheet. Well, what's going on? It's like, it's like, come on, man. I'll wait for my food. I'm happy.
So you just got done doing a short with another gentleman that we kind of grew up with in Vegas.
Yes.
Anthony's
Yes.
sister. He goes by Tony, I suppose, but so
no, he goes by Anthony. He goes by Anthony.
Okay,
yeah.
So you just finished a short with him, and what can you share what that's about?
Yeah, this is it's a short called Mankind. It's about 30 minutes long. It's the story of a man who's been living on the streets for a very, very long time, and looking for any sort of justification, maybe, on what it's all about, and comes across a young person on the street who maybe needs to learn the lessons of somebody that's been on such a long and hard journey, I would say.
And that's out now, or it's being shown at festivals, or?
That's going to be it'll be in October. It'll be in the Boise Film Festival. I know that from there we'll go hopefully on to some other festivals, but I think in October, maybe after October, it'll be available also to be seen online, I think.
What's the other one that you did?
Another one,
because that one sounds
really
boring as fuck, by the way. I didn't even listen to what you said at the end. I just tuned out, man.
Listen, Kevin, you got to Kevin can back me up on this. As many times as the conversation about a donut can turn into the meaning of life for Mike Shapiro, the idea that I did a short film about the meaning of life bores you?
I tuned out, man.
Well, hey, Michael, welcome to my hell. 26 episodes.
Yeah. At first, when I first met Kevin, I thought, oh, is he a grumpy guy? And then I realized, no, he's just friends with the Shapster. I get it.
Fuck you both. Quit laughing. Oh, man.
The next one is called Nadine. It's about an actress in the 40s. It's a period piece who's sort of been through the cycle, been groomed since she was 13 years old to be whatever the studio wants, and then they want to fire her at 30 because she's now old, and I play Franklin, the producer opposite of that character that has done sort
fire
of
'em?
raising up and then fires her on the stage and so forth. And that short, I'm not sure, but that one you can find. It's on my Instagram page, all the information about it. So like every time they post about it, I post about it. So that should be out hopefully in about a month.
What's your Instagram handle?
Mike at Michael Bunin,
There you go.
MichaelBunin. I tried to keep it easy. Hi, Sally. Say
There's
hi.
the dog. There's the dog.
Yeah,
Going to do the
yeah,
seat
she's
button
here.
for us. So, all right,
She's
man.
here.
Uh,
Are you done? Are you done? Are you done being bored with me?
no, I'm not
I'm
bored
sorry.
with you.
I'm sorry, Kevin. I meant to say I did a slapstick comedy about the fart police, and then Mike would be like, "Oh, I'm in on this."
That's exactly right. Michael Bunin, I'm following.
And for the
you.
record, if anybody is doing a project about the fart police, I am in on that. I would gladly be in that.
I love it. I'm following you on Instagram, Michael Bunin.
Got you. What's your guys' handle?
Who
Tell me.
cares? Nobody cares, man. Who gives a shit? Oh, wow! He just asked our. Did he hang up on us, dude? That's because you were talking. We told him about the review, man. That was great. Michael Bunin, the first guest in 26 episodes that hung up on us.
Touche, Michael Bunin. Good luck getting booked a second time on this fucker.
Well, how does it feel? I mean, I was gonna give him my Instagram. I mean, I said I don't care, but
Are you hurt because he hung up on us?
no. I was gonna. I thought maybe you might answer. You might answer. You might answer that question. What's your Instagram?
You telegraphed it though. You knew it was coming. You let him talk too much about what he's working on, what he's doing. I mean, there's nothing left to say but hang up. Hey, listen, why don't you talk about your Notoriety Gives concert coming up? We got to go. You know
Yeah,
what?
we've run over.
I have to get my eyebrows done. Go ahead.
Okay, so on September 10th, we got Michael Grimm for Concert for a Cause. There it is, right there. Michael Grimm is he was what was the show he was on? Was it The Voice or America's Got Talent? I think America's Got Talent. He's a phenomenal
show.
Who cares? He's a phenomenally talented artist, songwriter. It sounds like he, like is a blues singer from the 40s. I mean, just incredible. But he's going to be our entertainment for the next Concert for a Cause. The money goes to charity. That one is going to. That happens to go to this one, St. Jude's Ranch for Children. So come get tickets. Tickets are $40. All the money goes to the charity. I'll be there. Kevin, are you in town for that? Will you be in town?
When is it?
September 10th.
I don't know what day of the week it is.
It's a Tuesday. They're always Tuesdays. Second Tuesday of every month.
I'm here, but I don't support charity stuff. So I'm not.
Yeah, that's what we said last time, but that was a lie. You have a show. Do you have 2 shows this week for the Docksiders at the Venetian?
Friday, Saturday at the Venetian.
At the Venetian?
Yeah, it's a.
If you haven't seen the Docksiders, go
what?
see these. If you haven't seen the Docksiders, anybody watching, go see those guys. They have a money back guarantee, and they've never had to give